Good morning students, myself Professor Anil Kumar and I'll be teaching you computer science subject this year, that is BSc second year, third semester of Punjab University Chandigarh. So in computer science you have two further subjects, computer organization and object oriented programming using C++. Today I'll introduce you with the subject object oriented programming using C++. Uh, in case you face any issue in the subject, in the concepts, or if in case I wouldn't make myself clear to you, or in case you face any issue regarding the language, you can contact me on the Google Classroom. I'll definitely help you out. So let's start with the introduction. So before going into the details of object oriented, first we need to understand this particular chart. In this chart, first we will discuss what is programming language. So by the word language means the medium of communication that is used to communicate between two persons or two PCs, anything. If you want to communicate with a person, we need to have a common language. In case of humans, we have English, Hindi, Punjabi, or depending upon the region, each person has his own language. Both the persons or both the parties that want to communicate, they must understand each other's language. That is the only barrier over here. In case of programming language, we use these languages where we want to communicate with the computers, because computers understand only binary language, which is also known as machine language, while humans only understand Hindi, English, Punjabi. Both having different languages, so they can't communicate with each other. If we want to communicate with the computers, we must have a particular language which should be understandable by the humans as well as by the computer. So here we have programming language which helps the human to give tasks to the computer. Task means any work that we want a computer to do. So here the program means the set of instructions. Program means set of instructions that you provide to the computer with the help of this programming language. Now programming language are further divided into two types, procedural and non-procedural. In procedural, we tell the computer what to do as well as we tell how it to be done. In case of procedural programming language, we have examples like C, C++ and Java. C you have already studied in first year. In C, what we were doing was we include the header files, then we start the main section, then we have declaration section, then you give some instructions, in last you write something like this get, and then you close the brackets. It means you are telling the computer what to do, and you are also telling the sequence, that is first step should be this, second should be this, and so on. So you are talking about what should be done as well as how it is to be done. That is procedural. In case of non-procedural, we all simply tell the computer what to be done. Here the example is SQL, structured query language. You will study this in your higher classes. So in this languages, we simply tell the computer what to do. We doesn't specify the particular steps. So now procedural languages can be further divided into two types, that is function oriented or object oriented. Oriented means you are concentrating on one particular concept. In case of function oriented, we concentrate more on the functions, but in case of object oriented, we concentrate more on the objects. So these are simply the concepts, that if a language is more specific to the functions, it is called as function oriented, and if it deals with the objects, we call it as object oriented language. So C comes over here because in C is a functional oriented language, and object oriented languages are C++ and Java. As I already told you that object oriented means only few concepts that it follows. If a language is following the concepts of object oriented, it is said to be object oriented language. So if a language is following or obeying all the concepts or rules of object oriented, it is known as full if it is following all the rules or if it is fulfilling all the concepts, and if it doesn't fulfill or doesn't follow all the rules, we call it partial. So C++ comes over here. It is a partial object oriented language, and Java is full object oriented language. We won't be diving into why this is partial and why this is full. We will discuss it as your syllabus goes on. So for the time being, you need to make sure that you must understand what programming language is. A language that is used to write a program. Program means a set of instructions or tasks that we want to be performed by the computer. So programming language help us to write that program and help us to communicate with the computer. So programming languages are further divided into two types, procedural and non-procedural. In procedural, we tells the computer what to do and how it is to be done, and in case of non-procedural, we only tells what is to be done. We never tell the steps how the computer has to perform the task. It is his choice, its own choice, how he has to perform the task. Now procedural language can be further divided into two types, function oriented. In this, the more concentration is given on the functions, and in object oriented, the more concentration or the more we can say the more stress is given on the objects. So C++ and Java comes into these types. C++ is further doesn't follow all the rules, so we call it as partial, and Java fulfills all the requirement of object oriented concept, so it is known as the full. The now next that is important topic of your syllabus is object oriented concepts. So if a language has to be called as object oriented, that language must follow these concepts, these 5 basic concepts. The first one is object, then class, encapsulation, polymorphism, and the inheritance. Now we will discuss these in detail. First of all, we will start with the class. So everything that we see in our daily life is a class. For example, if we talk about the bikes, so bikes is a different class, car is a different class, student is a different class, teacher is a different class. So all these are classes. Why these are classes? Because they have different attributes or they have different behaviors along with them. For example, to what we call a bike. A bike has always 2 wheels, some gears, 4 to 5 gears, then clutch, then so on. So these are the features or you can behavior of a bike. Then what is car? What is car means the one which is having 4 wheels, then again 4 or 5 gears. So here sitting capacity is 2 persons and here sitting capacity is 5 persons. So if a collection of things having same attributes or behavior, we call it a class. For example, in case of student, every student has a roll number, every student has a marks, every student studied some subjects. So student is a class. And similarly, each of the teacher has its own ID. He teaches some subjects. So teacher is a different class. Similarly, chair, tables, everything that you see that always belongs to a particular class. Now, what is object? Object is actually a variable of class. In technical language, we call class as a user defined data type. So what we will be doing in C++, we will be creating a class and then we will create variables of that particular class which is known as the objects. So we will work on objects, that is why it is called as object oriented programming language. Now for example, bike was a class. We have taken example of a bike. Now if we bifurcate its objects, then one of the object of bike is, you can say, bullet. It has some different features, then pulsar, then your Platina. So these are all three are the bikes, means all three belong to the same class. Even if they belong to the same class, each of them having a different, maybe different values of each attribute. For example, we take example over here as engine. Engine is an attribute. So each bike should have an engine. Bullet is having also its own engine. Pulsar is also having its own engine, and Platina is also having an engine. But the capacity or value of engine can be different. Here it can be 350 cc, here it can be 180 cc, here it can be 110 cc. मीन्स आपका जो क्लास है उसमें बिहेवियर और एट्रीब्यूट्स जो है वो कॉमन होंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे इंजन जो है ये कॉमन है तीनों में, बट तीनों की जो वैल्यू है ईच ऑब्जेक्ट कैन हैव इट्स ओन वैल्यू. नाउ लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ स्टूडेंट. वी हैव थ्री डिफरेंट स्टूडेंट्स, ए स्टूडेंट, बी स्टूडेंट, सी. All the three must be having roll number, but here roll number value can be 100, 101 and 102. So value is different, but the attribute is same. Now marks, they must be acquiring marks out of 100, but each one can have different marks. He can score 90, B can score 80 and C can score 70. Similarly, subjects, they might be having different subjects. So class means having common attributes and behavior, but objects can have different values for each attribute. Now the next concept is encapsulation. Encapsulation means you can simply learn this concept by remembering a capsule. So capsule has always two parts. Similarly, encapsulation have two parts. The first one is attribute and second one is behavior. If we go into technical details, then attribute means the variables, member variables, and behavior means member functions. Now behavior is technically represented as functions. For example, in case of student, your behavior is that you must be possessing a result, means result must be calculated, so you need to create a function in a language. So technically behavior is represented as function in languages, and attributes are represented with the help of member variables. So encapsulation is also known as data binding. Data binding means you are binding the data and its functions in a single capsule, which is known as encapsulation. It is a concept again. So encapsulation is actually implemented with the help of class. Okay, so what we have studied, class have common attributes and behavior. Object is a variables of type class, and each of the object can have different values for variables. Now encapsulation has combination of attributes and behavior. Behavior is represented as function and attribute is represented as member variable. So it is also known as data binding. The next concept is polymorphism. Poly is actually made up of two words, poly plus morphs. Poly means many and morphs means types. यहाँ पे इसका मतलब क्या है कि आपका नाम जो है सेम होगा किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट का या किसी भी बिहेवियर का या फंक्शन का. वी शुड से फंक्शन, आपके फंक्शन का जो नाम है वो सेम होगा. फॉर एग्जांपल we give example of add. Add is a function. Now add can add two numbers, a plus b, or a plus b plus c, or a plus b, b plus c plus d. So add is a function. It can either add two values or three values or four values. Means नाम तो आपका same है, but technically it is performing different tasks. Here it is adding two variables, here it is adding three variables, and here it is adding four variables. So polymorphism means you are using a same name value to perform different technical tasks. So that is known as polymorphism. The last concept is inheritance. That is like parent-child relationship. मीन्स आपके पेरेंट्स के पास के जो कुछ फीचर्स होते हैं, उनके जो आगे बच्चे होते हैं उनमें से कुछ फीचर्स जो हैं वो आ जाते हैं. जैसे हम कहते हैं कि जो बच्चे की आँख नाक है वो पेरेंट के मदर या फादर के ऊपर चला जाता है, तो इट मीन्स सम ऑफ द फीचर्स ऑफ पेरेंट्स कैन बी ट्रांसफर्ड या ऑलरेडी ट्रांसफर्ड इनटू द child. So this is known as inheritance. Similarly, here what we will use classes. So suppose class A had some features and class B is also having some its own features, but we can inherit some features of A into B. अब बच्चे में अपने भी कुछ गुण होते हैं और उसमें कुछ गुण जो है माता पिता के होते हैं. So it means क्लास A के कुछ अपने गुण हैं जो वो अपने बच्चे को दे रहा है, और क्लास बी के उसने कुछ अपने गुण जो है वो भी उसने जो है डेवलप कर रखे हैं. सो दिस इज नोन एज इनहेरिटेंस. सो दीज वर द 5 मेन कंसेप्ट्स ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग. आई रिवाइज अगेन. फर्स्ट वन इज क्लास. क्लास मीन्स आपके पास कॉमन एट्रीब्यूट्स एंड बिहेवियर होता है. टेक्निकली वी टॉक क्लास एज अ यूजर डिफाइंड डेटा टाइप. इसको हम यूजर डिफाइंड डेटा टाइप बोलते हैं. जैसे आपका जो C++ में आपने सी में आपने पढ़ा होगा, सिर्फ इंट, फ्लोट, कैर, इस तरह आपने जो है डेटा टाइप्स जो है आपने पढ़ी होंगी. इन केस ऑफ C++ मोस्टली वी विल डील विद द क्लास. सो इट इज अ यूजर डिफाइंड डेटा टाइप. हम इसको खुद डिफाइन करते हैं डिपेंडिंग अपॉन आवर रिक्वायरमेंट. So class, because class is a data type, we must create variables of this particular data type, and the variable of class is known as objects. Now हर ऑब्जेक्ट जो है इसके जो कॉमन एट्रीब्यूट्स और बिहेवियर हैं हर ऑब्जेक्ट के पास वही होंगे. जैसे हमने यहाँ पे एग्जांपल लिया, स्टूडेंट इज अ क्लास एंड ईच ऑफ द स्टूडेंट हैज रोल नंबर एंड मार्क्स, बट द वैल्यूज कैन बी डिफरेंट. ठीक है. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड ऑब्जेक्ट. Encapsulation is actually bundling of data and its functions into a single unit. आप data और functions को एक single unit में बांध देते हो. And the data is known as attributes in normal language. Technically we call them member variables. And the functions is known as behavior in normal language. और technically हम word use करते हैं member functions. फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्टूडेंट के केस में आप क्या करोगे, आप रिजल्ट को जो है कैलकुलेट करोगे. यू मे बी कैलकुलेटिंग द रिजल्ट, यू मे बी कैलकुलेटिंग द परसेंटेज. सो दैट इज द बिहेवियर ऑफ अ स्टूडेंट. सो दीज, अब जब इन दोनों चीज़ों को हम एक सूत्र में बांध देते हैं, एक ही कैप्सूल में, आप कह सकते हो कि कैप्सूल के 2 हिस्से हैं. सो द फर्स्ट वन इज मेंबर वेरिएबल एंड द सेकंड वन इज मेंबर फंक्शन. द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म. पॉली means many, morph means types. So polymorphism means you are using a same name to perform different tasks or different types of tasks. Here add is a function, it is adding either 2 numbers, 3 numbers or 4 numbers. So name to same hai but it is performing technical different tasks. Next is inheritance. Inheritance is like parent-child relationship. जैसे parents में कुछ features होते हैं, they already get transferred into the child, but child can develop its own features. So similarly we have class, it has some features, we can inherit them into another class, and that particular class can also have its own feature, that class can develop its own features. So that's all from my side. So this was the introduction to object oriented concepts. I hope this will be clear to you. In case you face any issue, you can contact me. Thank you very much.